geometry unit is sectors. What your learning target is today, you can calculate perimeter of sectors. That's what you're going to be able to do. We're going to be able to take a sector and figure out the perimeter of it. You need to know what a sector is. A sector is part of a circle. So I have 3 circles here for you to draw a reference. You can have a fourth of a sector. Okay, it's part of the circle. It's part of the whole. You could have, now a lot of kids look at this and think it's the little one. It all depends on what's shaded or what they tell you. I'm going to tell you it's the bigger sector. Make a sector that is, let's see, let's do 2/3. 2/3 would be approximately like this. Do you agree with that kind of? So a sector, a part of a circle, that's what a sector is. Usually they have it shaded for you to identify. What you need to be able to do with sectors is identify perimeter of it and to be able to calculate area. Area is way easier than perimeter. Kids really struggle with perimeter. So, remember perimeter is around. That's what you have to remember. Perimeter is around. So if you're given a sector, and I'm just going to do, see how I'm kind of shading that inside of the sector there? It's the sum of the sides around the shape, or the sector. So, I'm on a different color, with a different color, I am going to show you around the sector. So, look at the sector, try to visualize what's around it. Right? Do you agree with that? Am I all done? No, I have to have this little, we call that an arc length. I have to have that. That's a perimeter. So notice what I did here. What is this? What is that?
Radius.
So it's a radius plus, what's this?
Radius.
Plus a radius, and then what's this? It's part of the circumference, isn't it? So plus part of the circumference. And I can't write it all out, so I'm just going to say plus part of the C. Okay, so let's be a little bit more explicit with how to find perimeter. The first thing you're going to do is find the actual circumference. You're going to need it. So you're going to find the circumference. You can either go pi times diameter, or if you're not given diameter, you can go 2 times pi times the radius. So we're going to find the whole thing first. What is the whole circumference? But we don't want the whole circumference when we're dealing with a sector. We're going to then find part of the circumference. How do you find part? You go fraction times the whole. So if I'm a half of a circle, I go 1/2 times the whole. If I'm 2/3 of the circle, I go 2/3 times the whole. So this little area here was the whole. And then third, I find the actual perimeter. That's the radius plus the radius plus the part. Or circumference part, more specifically. Alright, let's apply it. Let's find the perimeter of this given sector that has a radius of 4. So the first thing I'm supposed to do is find the whole circumference. So I'm going to go 2 times 4 times pi. Leave pi. Leave it. Do not calculate pi today. Leave it. So what's 2 times 4? So this is 8 pi. That's step 1. Whole circumference. So that told me all of this. Step 2, I want to find part of it. So given this sector, what part is it? It's a fourth of it. So it says fraction times the whole. So 1/4 times 8 pi. Also known as divided by 4. Okay, but you don't have to because it won't always be that simple. Top times top over bottom times bottom after you cross simplify. So that's 2 pi.
What?
2 pi. Again, let me restate my step. I found the whole. Now I'm finding the part. So this little part here is 2 pi. Now I need to find the full perimeter. So I have my outside, I have my 2 pi. Now step 3, I need to add my 4. I need to add my other 4 plus that part of the circumference known as the arc length is 2 pi. 6 plus 2 pi, leave it like that. They are not like terms. 8, yep, oopsies. 8. I think I was looking at this 2 when I was counting. So 8 plus 2 pi. Don't combine them. That is not 10 pi. It's not. Pi is like a variable. They're not like terms. Okay, so you have to keep them separate. Got it? You got it? Maybe? Okay, let's find another perimeter of a sector that covers 5/8 of a circle and has a diameter of 14. So, according to step 1, I need to find my whole circumference. I'm given a diameter, so I can just go diameter times pi. So, my whole is 14 pi. Diameter times pi. Second, I need to find parts. I need to find that little arc length. According to my steps to find part, what I do is fraction times the whole, that's here in part 2, fraction times that whole. So it's 5/8 times the whole. Cross simplify. Top times top over bottom times bottom. Notice what I'm doing with pi. I'm just leaving it. It's like a variable. It just kind of, I do everything else and just throw it there at the end. Okay, it's just kind of along for the ride is what it's doing. Third, now that's part. So let's say I have this whole circle, and if you want to draw a visual, go ahead. I don't know how to make 5/8, so don't judge me. I'm going to pretend that it's like this.
That's like 1.
Oh no.
All you have to do is just kind of make a star.
Make a star. Okay,
And
wait.
then divide them each pair.
So this would be, wait a minute. Wait for
Make
that.
4.
That would be
Make
like
4
4.
And then divide them all in half.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Even though that looks kind of, whatever. That looks
That's
kind of,
actually pretty hard.
that looks more like 2/3, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna be nice to me. So we found the whole circumference was 14 pi. Then I wanted to find part of it. That part is 5/8 of it. So now I know this outside in the red is 35 pi over 4. That's what that is. Third, now I find the full perimeter. So I need that 35 pi over 4, that's this outside, plus I need this, while radius is 7, plus 7, which is that diameter. And there's my full perimeter. So 14 plus 35 pi over 4. And I leave it like that. in your homework, you leave it like that. I would tell you if it says use your calculator's version of pi, use 3.14 for pi, or leave it exact. This is an exact answer. Because if you calculate it, you're going to have to round. Pi goes on for infinity. So if you calculate it, you'd have to round. That's not exact. This is exact. Okay?